Welcome back to Basics. I'm Shannon the Spoonie Stitcher. Remember to look at Teresa at Critters Crochet's video as well, because we are doing this together, back to basics. Two different teaching styles, because one might be easier to understand than the other. Everyone learns differently. So remember to check out her video as well. She's teaching you the exact same thing. And today, I've been waiting for this one. I'm an amigurumi designer, and with amigurumi, you need to know how to make the magic ring, or magic circle, or cinch circle. Magic round, magic ring, magic circle, cinch ring. It has a lot of names. Why? Why can't we just call it magic ring and be done with it? But no. This is a foundation you need. Now, I have taught how to make the magic ring so many times. Some people like it, some people don't. Don't be upset if the magic ring isn't something that you can't do right away. It took me years. Finally, I found a method that works for me. But it took many, many years to find that one method that worked. So again, go to Teresa's video. She probably teaches differently than I do. So if her method is easier for you to understand, there you go. However, I will also teach at the end of this video how to turn a chain 2 into a magic ring, so that if you can't master a magic ring, you can still make cute little things like this. Okay? Here we go. Lay out your fingers like this. So my thumb is up, my pointer finger and my middle finger are faced like this. Take my yarn and drape it over my fingers, like so. Take my thumb, pinch that yarn. My other hand will wrap the yarn in an X formation. Let me show you that again. So remember, it's draped over, my finger has pinched it. I'm going to just wrap my yarn in an X formation. Now I'm going to turn my entire hand, take my ring finger and my pinky, and hold that yarn. Take my hook. Right now, the head, that's what this part is called, the head is facing me. I need it to face downward. Going to slip my hook under this first loop and use my head to catch this and pull it. Now tip my hook like so. Spin my hook. Now don't hold too tight anywhere, otherwise you won't be able to do the next step. Now I'm going to take my hook and grab this yarn and pull it through the little loop we just created. Like so. And now look at this. You can let go. And everything is attached. Okay, let's say you're struggling with the magic ring when it comes to chenille yarn. This stuff can be really hard to actually pull into a loop because it can fray or it can break. So here is a really cool trick. If you haven't seen my short with the little hack about this, then this will be brand new to you. Okay, you need your chenille yarn, you need some worsted weight or DK yarn, just a little scrap, and your hook. That's it. You're gonna take the scrap yarn, you're gonna hold your fingers like this, pinch, wrap it around, make it parallel to the other one, and then hold it down here. They cannot cross, so just make sure they don't cross. They have to be parallel. Now you're going to stick your hook underneath both of those, take your pointer finger and hold the two. Take your chenille yarn, place it on your hook, and pull it into the loops like that. And then chain 1. Now what you're going to do is you're going to work all of your stitches into this loop. So let's just do 6 single crochet. That's pretty standard. 1, still keep it kind of loose. You should be using, if you're making amigurumi, you should be using a smaller hook than the yarn says on the label anyway. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, you can move this tail out of the way. Just make sure it's out of the ring. Now then, you have a string on one side and a string on the other. You can pull either one and pull. And then pretend you're starting the second round. This is chenille yarn, so much easier to see your stitches if you have a stitch marker. Now then, flip it over, pull the worsted weight yarn or DK yarn really tight, tie a knot, or a double knot. And then take the original tail that you did not use for the magic ring and tie that with the worsted weight yarn just to make sure they are connected. You can cut everything or use this as stuffing. I'm going to do both, but I'm going to cut this to keep it out of my way. So here's the back and here's the front. And I purposely used another color that would be really obvious for you to see if it was able to leak through and you can't see it. This is what I use for all of my slippers, all of my amigurumi. It just makes life easier, and also, I mean, look how pretty that is. That's not going anywhere. It is all tied together. It's secure. So this is my favorite way to make a magic ring with chenille yarn. So that's just a fun little hack for you, and I hope it helps. Make a slip knot, chain 2. You're going to make 6 single crochet in your little hole here. So 1, take a stitch marker, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Our first stitch is right here. We're going to go straight in to the second round. We're going to increase in every stitch around, so we're going to have 12. 1, 2. We're going to mark that first stitch just so we know where to stop. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, pull your tail as tight as possible without breaking the yarn. You still have a small hole there. So we're going to remove our hook. We're going to get our needle. Okay, we're going to thread the small tail. And on the back, we have these funny little loops that stick up like this. We are going to go in and out of all of those loops, but only the ones in the center. If it's too far out, skip it. There should be about 6 because that was your base. And then, whoop, that one is not, there we go, okay. We're going to pull tight. Look, it's gone. Okay, so you might want to tack it down a little bit, put it through a couple of stitches so it doesn't come out, but other than that, you're good. There. Now you can make amigurumi too, even if you could not figure out the magic ring. There we go. I totally understand. It took me years to figure out a way that I liked to do the magic ring. Now that we have our loop, this is how we're going to hold our yarn. I'm going to take my hand and wrap it like so, and I like to direct with my finger. So I hold my yarn like this. I hold my yarn several different ways during this video because I always have to keep adjusting. So I just like to wrap my yarn the way it's comfortable. Okay, now with my other hand, I have my hook. And I'm going to hold my ring like this. I'm going to take my hook and go into the ring like so. Then I'm going to wrap and grab this yarn and pull it towards me. Now I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to wrap the yarn again and go through. That is 1 single crochet into a magic ring. Now I need 6 of these, so I need 5 more. So we're going to go in, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. That's 2. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. That's 3. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. That's 4. Yeah. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. That's 5. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. That's 6. Let's make sure. Now, to count our stitches, I'm just going to pull this up a little bit. Okay. This loop never counts. The one that's on your hook, it will never count as a stitch. What you want to do is, you see these little V's? They look like little V's right here. These are your stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then that 6th one's really important. That's where our hook is about to go into, so we want to make sure we see that one. This is what is really cool about a magic ring. This little short tail I'm going to pull to close the ring, but I'm not going to pull it all the way. I'm going to just gently pull it so that I still have a hole. See that? See there's still a hole there? Because if I pull this all the way tight, to get my hook into that stitch will be almost impossible. So we want to make sure there's still some room here. I'm going to stick my hook into the very first single crochet we made, right there. Under both of these loops, so go under the V. Okay? Now, I'm going to take my yarn and pull it through. So I have 2 loops on my hook, wrap, and go through. That is a single crochet. And I'm going to mark it. Now what we're going to do in every single stitch around is we're going to do an increase. That is 2 stitches in the same stitch. So what I just did, I'm going to do again. I'm going to go in the same stitch. I'm going to grab the loop. I'm going to pull it up, 2 loops on my hook, wrap, and go through. And I'm going to do that in every single stitch around because, so what we've got is basically a hexagon. And what we're doing is we are going to do 2 stitches in every stitch. So it'll look like that. So we started with 6, but we're increasing by 6, so we get 12. That's what we want. We want 12 stitches around. We did 2. Now we go into the next stitch. Remember, go under that V, wrap, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, wrap, go through 2. That's 1. Into the same stitch, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. That's 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go a little faster. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. 5. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. That's 6. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through, in, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. That's 8. I almost lost track. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through, in, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through, in, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. And our stitch marker is there to tell us to stop. Now what we can do is that little short tail, we can pull that now all the way, tight as you want, so that the little hole is gone. And I'm going to carefully just grab a couple of stitches on the back to make sure my little hole doesn't open up. So I'm just going to grab a couple of stitches. This is completely optional, by the way. You do not have to do this. It should just stay on its own. I just want to make sure that it stays. If you're going to give this to a child, please make sure it stays. There. Now, you can cut off the tail if it's bothering you, or you can leave it. I'm going to leave a small tail. I'm going to save this because I can use this as stuffing. Take out our stitch marker, and we are going to start doing staggered increases. Now, staggered increases are used so that we have circles and not hexagons. So what we do is in the first stitch, we do an increase, and then we do the steps we're supposed to afterwards. So usually it's just 1. So we do an increase and then we do a single crochet. And then in the next row, we start with the single crochet and whatever we're supposed to do. Usually it's the reverse, so we want to do 2 now. And then we increase. And then we do what we're supposed to do. So the reason we do that is so that, here, I will very quickly draw a very badly drawn hexagon. Remember when we did this? Well, it's creating, edges. And what we want is by staggering our increases, we will now get a rounder shape, or we're more likely to get a rounder shape. So here is one of my tots. See the bottom? No hexagon. That's what we want. Okay. Very first stitch, we are going to increase, which we have just done all the way for round 2. We're going to go in, pull up a loop, wrap, pull up, and in the same stitch, we're going to do that again, but we're obviously going to mark our stitch. There we go. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. Okay, in the very next stitch, we're just going to make 1, all by himself. In the next stitch, we are going to make an increase again. I'm not going to say it with you this time. Okay, that's an increase. The next one, we're going to make 1. The next one, can you guess? Increase. Next one is 1. Increase. 1. Increase. 1. Increase. And the last one is 1 single crochet all by itself. You should have 18 stitches all the way around. Please count, but here is a quick little tip. If you started with an increase, your last stitch should be the single crochet all by itself. And the reverse is also true, which you'll see in the next round. Round 4. We're just going to make 1 single crochet in the very first stitch. Just 1. And in the next stitch, we're also just going to make 1 single crochet. Now in the third stitch is our increase. So our pattern is 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. I would say that to yourself. It might be helpful. So let's do that. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, and the last one is an increase, which is perfect because we started with a regular single crochet. Now, please, please count your stitches and make sure you have 24 stitches for round 4. Thank you so much for joining Teresa and I on this fun journey of going back to basics. This was our final video in this series, but if you like how we did this, we can do more with this. Let us know in our videos in the comment sections. Comments help us so much, and they tell us what you want to see. So if you want us to focus more on basics and how to do little things, I'm more of an amigurumi designer. She's more of a blanket and garment designer. So you might want us for different things, and that's okay. Now, you made the magic ring today. If you would like to get started on learning amigurumi, I have an entire playlist linked down below on how to start doing amigurumi. Very simple. And at the end, you make a tot. Like this. So, if you want to get started on your amigurumi journey, it's all linked down below. If you would like to get started on projects that you can make with all these stitches you learned, I have a playlist for that as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us this summer. I am so excited about this fall. Don't forget to come back to the channel because we have a lot planned for this fall. So I am super excited. Teresa does as well. Don't forget to check out her videos. I hope you're watching mine. I'm glad you're watching mine, but remember to always check out the Critters Crochet videos as well for this series, because again, her teaching style may be easier to understand than mine. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, life happens, yarn helps, and spoonies can stitch it up too. Bye.